I'm excited to welcome Josh Perkins, veteran guard for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Josh, for some teams that get to the tournament over and over, this sort of thing can become old hat, waiting for your name to flash up on the screen. But for you personally, what's it like to see the brackets and know what's coming next?
Oh, it's a feeling I can't even put in words still. Just to be here 4 years and to see our name to get up there, it's still, the feeling never gets old. I can never overlook it, and I still got sweaty armpits at the end of it. So, it's still doing something to me.
Well, that's how you know you care, Josh. Very cool. Congratulations again. Let's talk about this season, though, because you lost 4 of your top 5 scorers from that team that went to the national championship. A lot of turnover, even though you and others are returning veterans. And there's some skeptics that Gonzaga maybe wouldn't be able to replicate that. How different did it feel to you this year?
It was just a group of guys who were hungry. We felt that loss in the championship last year. So, guys took it seriously and came back, and we worked all summer, not to grow as a team, but not to grow individually, but to grow as a team, just to do what they can to give back to the team so we can get back to where we were last year. So, physically, mentally, and everything, and we put in this summer just so we can get back to where we were last year.
As painful as it was to go through the experience of losing to North Carolina, how did that help you, Josh?
It's helped me, every year going to the tournament, just being around guys like, Kev, Shimmick, and Nigel, just knowing that there's the little things in March that separate, the wins and the losses. So, just preaching that message to the young guys, getting it ready. Because, anytime you can go home now, and we definitely don't want to go home. So, just taking the little things serious and just knowing that we got to play our best basketball now, or else we can just be home watching at any time.
That's a very good point. It's a weighty responsibility. And certainly for someone like you who's an upperclassman who understands this tradition of Gonzaga basketball, how much does it matter to you that you are able to be a leader and maybe pass on some of what you've learned to the younger guys in the school?
Oh, it's everything. As a kid, that's where you want to be. You want to be put in positions to where you can either lead and be successful. So, as a kid, I've dreamed to be here. And for it to be coming true, it's surreal. So, I hope I can just keep leading these guys to where we need to be, and we deserve to be because we put the time in. But it's just cool to see guys coming back like, Tilly, Rui, guys who didn't get the opportunities they should have last year, but just watching and learning last year so they can put what they learned last year into the tournament this year. So, it'll be fun, and just being comfortable having guys like, Silas and J3 behind me with the same experience. Come back and they felt the loss as much as I did, so just we're all just feeding off each other, and I'm glad March is finally here.
Yes, March is the best. I agree with that. Gonzaga guard Josh Perkins with us here after hours on CBS Sports Radio. I'm glad you brought up Killian Tilly. Let's just say for the sake of argument, Josh, that you're on another team and you have to game plan for Tilly. What do you do?
Shoot. You pick him up. You pick him up full court. You don't even let him touch the ball. Because he can shoot it. He can put it on the floor. He rebounds it and he can score in the post. As an opposing player, he does it all. So you don't really know how to guard the kid. I think playing with him, I think we know that. He spaces the floor for me personally, and I know I can put him in any spot for him to be successful. So he makes it easy for me as a point guard for sure.
When I think about your championship game against BYU and a 40-8 run, it blows me away. That's almost impossible on any level of basketball to outscore an opponent 40-8 over a stretch. Your coach calls it one of the best stretches that you've had all year long. So when your team is playing that well, Josh, what does it look like on the court?
Hey, I just know there was a lot of dance moves, during timeouts. There was a lot of smiles on people's faces. It just felt like everybody was in the zone. But I knew it started defensively. We took it serious. BYU has a lot of firepower, but we took it personally. And our coach's game plan was spot on. And as long as we keep executing what they get for us, we'll be in good hands. But to answer the question, it was perfect. We was in the perfect zone. And like I said, we were dancing during timeouts, getting in trouble with the referees. And it just felt good. It just felt like it was meant to be, and we were in the right place at the right time.
Well, okay. Then how do you carry that over since it is now March, as you say?
I don't think it'd be hard. We've been playing, I think we're on a 13 or 14 game win streak, and we're playing our best basketball as of late. The ball's going in, and like I said, we're making defense our priority, and we're getting better at defense every game. So like I said, if we just keep executing what our coaches put out there for us, I know we got the best coaches in the country, so then our game plan is spot on. If we do it, if we execute it, we'll be good.
Considering how versatile you are and you've got a bunch of different guys who can step up, you're not relying on one particular superstar to win these 14 games in a row. How much more dangerous does that make the Bulldogs, Josh?
I think, super dangerous. Like you said, there's not one person you have to game plan for, but you have to game plan for the whole entire team. And I think we just do a great job of just being selfless. And I think none of the guys on our team are selfish, and we just, as basketball players, we just like to take advantage of what the defense gives us. And if it's one person's night, we go off that guy. And if it's not, the other guys don't have a problem, diverting it other ways. We sacrifice a lot for each other, and I think it shows in our play, in our style of play. And like I said, you can't game plan for one, you got to game plan for 13.
We're spending a couple of minutes with Josh Perkins, veteran guard for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, who go 30-4 in getting a number 4 seed in the NCAA Tournament out of the WCC. You've got some unfinished business, Josh. You have another 30-win season, another spot in the tournament, but of course, it's a huge challenge ahead. So how much do you rely on the fans to help spur you on?
I honestly feel like we have the greatest fans in the country. They travel well for us. They support us, community, support us in the community. And I know us being in Boise, it'll feel like a home game for us in there. It'll be super loud. But, they traveled with us for us well in Vegas every year. Every WCC road game, it feels like a home game for us, just how much support we have worldwide. And I just that never gets old. We feed off the crowd, and for us to play for them, it's awesome.
Always nice to have the help of a vocal fan base. Last thing before I let you go, Josh. I know you didn't end up winning the championship, but it was an historic season for Gonzaga, leaving you with a little bit of unfinished business. But what are some of the moments that you will never forget from last year's run to the title game?
Honestly, I'll remember everything. Going back from the first game with South Dakota State, I remember playing against Mike Dom. I remember playing against Xavier. I remember playing against obviously North Carolina, South Carolina, with the mop girl coming on the court, Jordan's big three, Shimmy getting poked in the eye. I remember all the little things that a lot of people won't, just because it was such a, historic run. But I always remember that I looked up when the clock hit 0 and we weren't up top. So, that's a feeling I'll never forget, and I never want to feel that feeling again.
And yet, there's still room to create even more memories. Gonzaga guard Josh Perkins getting set to lead his team into the NCAA tournament yet again. Thank you so much for a couple of minutes. It's great to talk to you. Good luck in March Madness.
Hey, well, thanks for having me.